evening, good night. Welcome back, everyone, to Lana's Little Things with me, Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist, talking all things on living agelessly, bridging those important generational gaps, family caregiving, you know how that goes, entrepreneurship, just life in general. And we are in breast cancer month. October celebrates breast cancer month. It also celebrates mental health awareness. And so we're gonna not merge the two tonight, but what I thought we'll do is, as you see, I'm in pink, and I hope you're wearing your pink ribbon and sporting that in support of those who you may know have breast cancer. If you yourself or you're with a foundation that has breast and that manages breast cancer, here's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're not going to talk about the typical medical things and the usual. What we'll talk about is some information that I've always found fascinating personally, because there's so much still after all this time, just like chronic diseases. There's still a lot of excuse me, misinformation. A myth here, a myth there. You know how folklore spreads. You know how these things and they become fact even though they're not. So we're gonna look with the help from Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Awesome information. If you haven't, this is not sponsored in any way, but I found the information on their site to be very, very easily presented, and you can follow. And if you have any concerns, feel free to not only seek your doctor's advice, but you can have a read of that site as well and debunk some of the myths, and also reach out to them. They do have a hotline for you to ask your questions, and also maybe some more concerns that you may have. So let's go right in to, and they've got a 10. Yeah, and I'm thinking, do I put all 10? I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's just get it done. So, what is one of the most common, especially Caribbean? I found the most common um, myth is you will always feel a lump. Notwithstanding that, all lumps hurt. So you will always feel a lump that tells you that there's breast cancer, and then it must hurt because that's what cancer does. So according to the information, and this is all based on research, remember, that is not uh, true in the absolute sense. So there's no such thing in medicine, which we've all learned from school. Nothing always presents at the same in the same way. So it can be discovered sometimes by a lump. Sometimes you feel a lump in your general exam. Remember to always include under the breast, and seek any medical doctor on the best way to examine your breast, because this forum and here this channel, I won't be doing that. But let's just say you go in circles and then you include your underarms as well. Always make sure that you do that consistently before your period, during and after. But we're already talking about, and we're going to talk about breast cancer in general. And then maybe in a little bit, and maybe I'll make this a part one, and then part two will be breast cancer in older persons and why that's so unique. So stay tuned for part two. So this is part one, number 183. Can you imagine? Technically, almost over 200 videos. I'm really so grateful for your support. So, and remember to share this with a friend, subscribe, press the notification bell. I'm here every Saturday, and you can just find me whenever you wish to. And also at my website, Lana at Lana and MD, you want to just touch base with me. We also have caregiving courses for not just family caregivers, because oh boy, is that a need, but also for doctors, physicians like myself, who are just experiencing burnout because maybe they're in the sandwich generation and they're just not knowing what to do. So either way, find me on my website. I'll put the link down below. Lana's Little Thing.com. It's cute. And also, and you'll find a meditation video there, as well as give me a direct email. Lana at lanaandmd.com. So let's move on. So the one, does it always present with a lump? No. What it can present with is just this vague swelling on the breast. It doesn't have to be both either. Or the skin starts to look a little dimply. Or it just feels differently to you. Or there may be a discharge from the nipple. Or there may be a rash. Or there may be nothing. And because you go get your screening from 40 for some ages, 42 in some, because we in the Caribbean have such a high incidence, that's been scaled back now to between 40 and 42, although not as frequently as before. And so it's only found on screening many times. So what do you do then? Do you not examine your breast? Of course. But just be aware it isn't always going to be there's a lump equals breast cancer. Many other lumps, especially in younger females, relate to your menstrual cycle. They can also relate to your just changes in hormones and pregnancy. So even if you examine your breast and you're pregnant, remember your breast is going to be different. Okay, and that's the major one. But here we go on to that's so let's start from going where they had gone to. Mammograms, as we're talking about investigations, they don't work. I've heard that over and over again. They just press on you, they hurt, and they say nothing. That again is a myth. So let's bust that myth. How can we do that? Because mammograms have been around for ages, and while there may be a 10%, some say 15%, that may not find a lump, especially in dense breast, that is a caveat, and but that can be followed by other scans that can match with that, focus on the area, and find it. So a mammograms have saved so many millions of lives. Let us not discount it when it's found early, almost 100%, almost 100%. There are less intense treatments required, less likely for spread. Don't knock it till you try it. Speak to your doctor and find out which is better for you. But there are other things that can be done. Another myth, so we're at number 3. Everybody's breast cancer is the same. Are we all the same? No. So no one person presents with the same kind of breast cancer. And that has to do with genetics, environment, diet for some, in some research is being, diet is being touted. Definitely if you're a smoker, it's a higher risk. Definitely if you've had high family history, it's a higher risk. So, and it will present differently. May grow differently. It may present as a lump or it may not. And if it does progress, it may progress at different phases, different speeds. And the outlook is different. So no one size fits all. Speaking of no one size fits all, what's the myth about bras? We're at myth number 4. Bras. I remember a couple of years ago it was roll-on is deodorant is going to cause breast cancer. Not only that, the bra you're wearing, don't ever wear bras, especially with wires. They're going to cause cancer. And while that may still, there may be some truth to the thought, or there was a reason why it came up in the first place, because maybe it was coincidental, perhaps it was something that was pressing on the area on the breast, who knows. But as far as more research has come, it's it's not been shown. They crop up all the time, but there was a 2014 study that showed that bra wearing habits, wireless, wired, not wired, and believe you me, if you have a different experience, please do let me know in the comments. I'm going to ready research, okay? Don't knock the messenger. And that was just not indicated to be a reason for breast cancer. So, according to the National Cancer Institute, there's also been no scientific data that deodorant does it either. So, but check with your doctor again. Say, okay, is there one that's safer? Is it roll on? Is it stick? Is it spray? Is it, natural substances? I do have patients who said that they are certain it was what they had used. But again, diseases don't read books, as my professors always told me, and I've seen it so true. What goes for the goose doesn't always go for the gander. Or in this case, it's probably the other way around. In the Caribbean, we're at number 5 now. We're at number 6 now. Eating sugar. Oh boy, do we eat sugar in the Caribbean and worldwide. Eating sugar is going to make cancer grow faster. You're going to feed it, and it's going to kill you. Well, there is benefit that eating sugar, especially empty calories, can cause that, and a diet high in sugar is never recommended. But as it being a causative factor in, like it causes cancer, the studies are suggesting that no. I'm not saying you go out there and eat the biggest piece of cake and buy the big tub of ice cream. No, no, no. I mean, you're not going to do that, right? Because sugar does lead to obesity, which can increase your risk, increases inflammatory conditions in general, which can cause cells to go, as I say, berserk, and it can create insulin resistance, which are all factors that can um, put you at risk for breast cancer as well as worsen your outcome. So, moderation, but not causation. Does that make sense? All right, we're going to myth number 7. Breast cancer can always be cured. And I think this one is where physicians and patients, we have to come to meet in the middle and come to a place of peace sometimes, because we'd love to cure everything, and believe me, our heart condition, our Hippocratic training, or oaths to do no harm and to do the best we can, and your expectation as a patient, our expectation as a person, is you want to fix it, you want to cure it, you want to get it, you want to heal, and that doesn't always work out. So it cannot always be cured. Yes, surgeries, as radical as they may be, they may offer some respite. They may reduce your risk of increase your prognosis, so you will live longer. And surgeries have been very successful. I've seen so many of my clients with very successful surgeries, minimal um, complications, if any, really. But let's look at one statistic. The vast majority of persons who have cancer that has spread, that's over 40,000. That's in the United States. I don't have Caribbean data, unfortunately. But let's extrapolate it to the world. That's quite a few. And that's when it spread outside of the actual breast area. So we can manage, but we can't yet cure it. If it's one small lump and it's one fixed area, chances are also better, but you still have to be monitored. So please, again, be reassured, but I guess that was probably just a boom of a reality check. And we're at number 8 now. Oh, we're at number 9. Wow. Mammograms, we did that. Oh, you can do nothing to reduce your risk of breast cancer. Now, again, medicine doesn't deal with extremes. There's always something we can do. We spoke about diet, we spoke about being aware of your genetic changes, we spoke about lifestyle, as in not smoking, all the things that promote inflammatory conditions, a healthy lifestyle, weight loss, maintaining, not just maintain a healthy lifestyle in terms of diet and exercise, but also in terms of our mental health. Well, it's mental health month, right? So, what are your risks? Knowledge is potential power. So let's utilize the knowledge we have and empower ourselves. What is your family history? Know what your normal breast tissue is like, which is why we encourage breast examinations. Less alcohol, stop smoking, healthy diet. I mean, if that is repeated every single time for every single condition, and it is true, because we are what we eat. We are what we smoke, and we are what we drink. Let's be real. And exercising regularly actually reduces our inflammatory process, makes us feel better, keeps our heart healthy, lungs healthy, improves our overall prognosis of health, and helps us to deal with difficult things to deal with in a better way. I mean, hey, who can say no to that? So, Has everything been debunked? No. I think we're at number 10 now. And we're coming to this one. This is where I end off my part one, and I'm going into part two. And so there's nine, and then there's another one. Only women are diagnosed with breast cancer. I think we know that's not true. There are men and women. We both genders have breast tissue. However, in medicine, we do the two genders. That is separate and apart from what persons may, how they may identify. But in medicine, we do identify male or female. So, and that's not only women have breast cancer, because not only women have breasts, men have natural breast tissue as well. So be aware males, gents, just be aware. And the last one, definitely, number 10, only older people are diagnosed with breast cancer. Really? Those over 50, those over 60? Only? There's never only or exclusive in medicine. So be aware that if you're 20, like me, or 30 or 40, it doesn't mean you've gone away. I've seen so many persons, yes, it's early age onset, but it is not a condition that only affects women over 50 or over 60. So we will discuss some more of that, breast cancer in terms of age, at our next meeting. So until then, I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much, Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Without you guys and others who are doing research on this so important thing that improves our lives, we're so grateful for the information, and thank you for your time. Remember to press the notification for next week, where we talk some more on breast cancer, female, male, older age. From my heart to yours. In October, Breast Cancer Month, support your friends, support ourselves. Knowledge is potential power, but it is power when it's used well. From my heart to yours, mwah.